Hi, I'm Josie Crutchley, and I have two friends here helping me record my speech today.
Here we are.
Here they are. So today I'm going to tell you a story about something that happened to me a few years ago, quite a few years ago, that shaped my past and was a pivotal point in my life and made me make some different career and personal choices. It was a series of serendipitous events, I call it. And so by way of background, years ago I worked at Merrill Lynch Business Financial Services in Princeton in a building that's it's not there anymore, but I believe it was near the site of Penn Medicine Princeton Healthcare, so you might be familiar with that area. So I worked in Business Financial Services, and our department was kind of a clearinghouse for small business loans for some of the satellite offices all over the country. And I was the first point of contact. I used the phone and email a lot. That was before the age of the internet. And my colleagues often praised me for my cheerful attitude and being helpful and informative. So during the course of my work, I tried to find things that I liked about it. One of the things I liked most was talking to people in the other offices around the country, in particular a person that I came to be friends with named Kathy Martin. She worked in the downtown Chicago office, and we found we had a lot in common. We would talk about how we liked travel and pets and other things. And she told me actually that she was getting married in a few months to a great guy named Steve. And after we got to know each other a little better, she asked me if I'd like to come to her wedding. Of course, sure. I said yes, that sounded awesome. So I found a travel buddy and made my plans. And a few months later, off we went to Chicago. So we had an itinerary all mapped out, including some things that we were going to do, like go to the jazz clubs in downtown Chicago and take a walking tour, see the Magnificent Mile, and one day we planned to go to the original Pizzeria Uno with a walking tour. So the day of our visit, we had our lunch and we were leaving the restaurant, and I looked across the street and noticed a large crowd of people forming near a guy in a tiny sports car about to leave the gas station. And I asked another tourist if he knew what was going on. He said, yeah, that's Mr. T in that little sports car. Do you know who he is? Well, he was in a show called The A-Team on TV in the 1980s. And he's famous for being a bodybuilder and a former wrestler who had a distinctive hairstyle and wore a pile of gold chains around his neck. So my friend and I crossed the street and went over to say hi to Mr. T and all the other tourists. We chatted for a little while. His real name is Larry or Lawrence Turow, but his friends called him Larry. So we talked for a little while. And then we went off on our tour, and a few days later we attended Kathy and Steve's wedding. When I got to the wedding, I told my friends about what had happened to me. And they said, oh, that's interesting. Did you know that he's a philanthropist and he does some wonderful things in the community and he's a native of Chicago? No, I didn't know that. So I thought about all those things later, and on my trip home, when I got home, I decided to make a few changes in my life. So I was a part-time student at the time, and I took my interest in social sciences and communication and changed my major to sociology with a minor in communication, undergrad at Rutgers University. I also changed jobs a little later and worked in an advertising agency for a while. So my point in telling you all of this is that when you communicate in a genuine way with people that you know and get to like, it can change your life. Believe in yourself and know that you have the power to influence others. Thank you.